Um, Folks, I wanted to do a little bit of video, and I think I'm going to sit down with the chair on this. But the goal here is I did make a comment that I was going to go live, and sorry about the little darkness that goes on, but what I want to talk about today is just being the best you can be and doing the best. I know I said something about 3 o'clock, and I'm a little bit behind schedule because I'm working on a paper uh, that I have a meeting for next week with a publicist, and I want to at least have a halfway decent job on this. And I will work on that sometime tonight as well. But what I want to talk about is my topic says, excuse me, is be the best that you can be. And part of that is you just got to be grateful for things. Just get a little bit of drink of something. You just got to be grateful for things in life, and then you move forward with that. And I think a lot of times, at least in my situation, I always bang up on myself about things, and it's that point that when I say, that I bang up on myself, and the point that I try to make or understand when I make that is that, and like I tell some of my kids too, is what is the intent? What is my intent? What am I trying to achieve? And I always go back, and then a few days ago I watched Steve Jobs' thing about his passion and what he wanted to be passionate about, and then connecting the dots at the end, and to go by your gut reaction. And then that is what really I try to do is I go by my gut reaction, try to achieve things in my life that I really think that are important, where I see things going. And a lot of times it's where things would go. The point here is just not settling, but bring out or be the best you can be in life. And the point, or there's a couple things I want to say about this. And the first one was the intent. What's your intent and where you're going to be. But then your goal is working, what's not working. And then, like I said, for the most part, I do that on a weekly basis. And to figure out, is this working, that's working, why is this working, what do I need to change to make this work? And then the point is on that, I need to be grateful on where I see things in life, because I could do this the other day as well, is you try to be as much grateful or gratitude in what you are in your life. And like gratitude that I got a job, I have a couple of job offers out there, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. But then I have to think, what is the intent? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to achieve in life? And then you got to go from there. So, and the point or the emphasis here is, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve things? And I've always said before, I'll be at it again, is the Rubicon theory. Once that Rubicon, this goes back to Julius Caesar, that if he crossed the Rubicon River, he would be up for treason and etc., because took a standing army that he had created across the Rubicon and was really an act of treason or civil distress. So, and those were decisions that he himself had to deal with concerning, where he wanted to go. And I often say this to myself, or I tell other people, when you come to that Rubicon, you have to decide where you want to go. And once you make that decision, you can't turn back. you got to go full forward into that decision. So that is where things are. And the point is that once you make that decision, a lot of times it helps you decide, in life where you want to achieve things, where you want to be, and what you want to achieve when things get they're not always going to be easy. They're going to be a little bit rocky. But your goal here with this is to make the best of it and move forward, and be grateful for where you are in your life, and then move forward on that. So, and like I said, I face this right now. I have two job offers, finishing off my other job and finding out what is best for not only, but when I make a decision, it affects a lot of people, not myself. Now, in the past, before I finished my PhD, I was working for a retail company. Then I realized that those decisions were not necessarily the best decisions in life. But like I said, I'm very grateful because I told myself once I graduated that I wanted to work for a nonprofit, which I am doing, and then to move things forward, which I am doing. So I'm grateful in that aspect of it. But you got to be grateful. You want to see things and move things in life. And sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to work out. So you have to move forward on that. And like I said, there is that content. There's a lot of people that are just content where they are in life and where they want to achieve in life. So they just stay at that level in life and say, well, that'll be okay. I can deal with this. And to me, that's part of settling. And do we want to settle? And I can't answer that question for an individual. That individual has to answer that for themselves. And one reason I'm a psychologist and I try to stay even keel because I can't answer decisions for people. They got to reach down into their soul and figure out is this work for me? Does this not work for me? How do I achieve things? I don't know. I can guide them and help them guide them, but that is something that as an individual they have to figure out on their own. But I can guide them on that. But I'm also a big believer that people have to reach a rock bottom in life before they're going to make a change. A big component of that, I believe there are some other people out there that are motivators that say that too. That you, as a person, uh, you have to hit that rock bottom and say, yeah, this is where I want to go. This is where, I don't want to live this way. I'm tired of living this way. I need to make some changes to move that way. And I see this myself with people that are in I work with an addiction program. And I see that where people, say I are in life and that I need to and I will revive. And like I said, when I make a decision, it has an impact on other people as well because it's people that I work with, people that I, like right now I've got two offers, and it's like the impact on that affects other people. So you have to think that. And then it's like Sarah, I'm a big Jug fan, and I read something today from Robert Kennedy Jr. about him talking about Carl Jug and his thing on synchronicity, which I read that book about too. And your action, you always your actions create a thing, and then which today for me was a real good wake up call. Not so much a wake up call, but a reflection on this is the things that I say I need to work on, and this is where I want to be because it's not necessarily. And I've said this to people. I said this to somebody at work that something is not bad or nor is something very good. It's where you are in life and where you want to see things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that things are right or what anything's wrong. It's just where you see things. And what I mean by seeing things is you see it in your own eyes and you make that decision or you make those impacts of those decisions within your mind. So It's like, for instance, like I said, uh, I'm going to hopefully have a meeting with a publicist this week, this coming week. Hope I got a couple books. Um, many of you know, I have a keen interest in Native American history and Native American studies. So the point on that is becomes where do I see things, where I want to achieve things, and it's always that influx of where I see things and where I want to go. And I've said this in the past with people on here as well, and with people I've talked. I don't do New Year's resolution, even though we're getting into the last part of August or September, October, November, and December. We'll have uh, 8 months of the year in, you know, 2/3 of the year in, and be left with a third of the year left. And I don't necessarily reflect at the end of the year, but what I do is reflect in May because that's when I graduated to 2022, May of 2023, where I've got, and then necessarily May of 2024. And there again, like I said a few minutes ago when I was watching something that Robert Kennedy Jr. sent about Carl Jung's synchronicity, which is a good book, is just everything has a reaction in reaction to things in life. So it's a point that it's worth taking and understanding as well as to where you see things. Like I said, for instance, I'm working on this new book, Water Quality on the Reservation, and a couple of weeks ago, really wasn't a whole much there on that book. And now I've got it up to almost 40 pages. So my goal is I'll write a little bit tomorrow. And I'm at that point now, the Rubicon crossing is, do I want to make this a scholarly piece of work, or do I want to go more of an in-depth and make it more of a book? So that is the case, then that is the case. So, and I've got to reach out. I've got to reach out to a friend of mine because I did some online surveys as well as talk to some people online, and then data collecting that, which I really there again was an issue that I did the data collection myself, graded the data, which in the past I had not done because most of my surveys have been quantitative, which in other words, it wasn't quantitative, means just putting things on a scale. And I was able to do that and then just learn and go from there on that. So I've created like 3 graphs, but I wanted to move this paper or this scholarly work in a direction. And then I'm probably going to go back and look at the casino and the work on that because I really want to work on that as well. So there's some issues there as well as where I want to work on some things. So, anyways, like I said, I wanted to come online, give a feedback or a synopsis on things, and then move forward. And finally, folks, the point I want to make is we're only given a short time in life, and then when we take that, we got to take every grain of salt with that. There was a photo my daughter took when I was getting a colonoscopy and I was coming out of recovery, and I keep it and I look at it and I think of myself, this is where I'm in an enlightened state right now, but at some point, I will cease to exist, and at that point, I look at that and say, yes, that I'm just all microorganisms, and I'm just I'm just a I'm just a flesh. But at some point, I will cease to exist. When that is, I don't know. That's up to the good Lord when He makes that decision. Hopefully, it won't be soon, but I can't make that. But my point on that is that you look at that situation and you make the most of every day. And I think this goes back to what Steve Jobs said, that can I look at myself in the mirror and I've got to get myself back into that routine again too, is look myself in the mirror and say, did I give my all? And then, just like I said, I've been so busy with trying to work things through, navigate things through, and work on these two manuscripts that I'm working on, that I've kind of lost a little bit of focus on that. But just to look in the mirror and say, did I give my all today? Where am I at? What's my intention? And it was like last weekend, I was able to spend quality time with one of my kids, which was really good for me because it really put things in perspective. And I got to see things that I really hadn't been able to see. Caught up with a friend as well, because we always talk online or talk on the phone, but never in person. So, and they were very helpful for me as well because it reached out to me. But then when I came back, I thought to myself, well, what's my intent? Where do I want to be? What do I want to achieve? Am I achieving where I want to be? Goal. And a lot of it, I've said before, is my writings. And one of my goals was, I got to take something off my bucket list last weekend because I've been wanting to do it, and I got it done. But one of my things on my bucket list is to create a New York Times top 10 bookseller. So that's still on my list as well, and I have not given up on that as well. And it's just a point that I tell myself every day: a quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. And I always say that to myself. It's like, where do I see myself? Where do I want to go with this? And that's a big issue too, because it's just like people have to be patient and have to work within what they're given. And I've said this a few minutes ago, that you work with what you got, and then you move forward. And that's the thing in life. But it goes back to what I said about Steve Jobs. If you have a passion for something and you feel your gut tells you about something, then you go by your gut. And don't worry about where things go. You can connect the dots later in life. But that's the point that you make, is that what your gut feeling about it and where you want to go with it. So anyway, this is where I see things in life, and I reached out to people because I did make a commitment that I would do it online. And like I said, I apologize for being late on that. But the point here is you follow through on your commitments about things and then move forward about it. So, and that's the gist of it too, as well, is that you move forward and you do what you think you feel is right in your best aspect. Anyway, pretty well much finished talking about things today. Remember, I do have books online. B. Thomas, they're under two things, and I got to call Amazon. I just haven't gotten around to it, and move everything back to Boyd Miller, because my one child does not like me using the B. Thomas Miller thing. So everything is going to go back to Boyd Miller. They are on Amazon. A couple books, though, maybe because I have a publisher interested in a couple books, maybe going off there. And then I also doing a conference in Eventbrite. It's October 28th, Saturday. Tickets available. They're early order of $50. Once September 1st kicks in, folks, I am not lowering the price. It's $75. And I don't care if I only get 0 people on there or pay it after September the 1st. I'm sticking to my guns. Old cliche of sticking to my guns and my aspect about that, because once September 1st gets in, I may have to move some speakers around and all that. And so that's an additional cost and also additional time that I have to spend on that. So if you order early, you pay $50. If you order after September 1st, the cost raises to $75. Just the way it is. And I know the conference is October 28th. but I'm lining up some really neat speakers. Most of it I'm going to do myself the whole day, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. It'll be on Eventbrite, probably also on Zoom. Reach out to me about that. Also, please like and subscribe my YouTube page. It's not as grown as much as I like, but then again, I have not been focusing a lot because I've been scattered all over the place, not intentionally with everything going on, but it's still working. Grateful that it's still there. Got a lot of videos there that you can look at, and like I said, it's very, very intriguing that that I get some likes and I get some subscribers. Please like and subscribe. It's like I said, all whatever they call it. My audience participation is okay, but I like to get that up. But then again, like I said, it's not like sports. It's not like some of the special interest of the day or whatever. This is more of a informative type of atmosphere, inform and educate, not necessarily scare the hell out of people and move things forward. But please like and subscribe because I'd like to grow this channel as much as I can because, like I said, it's more about inform and educate. I always pick a word of the day, and the word of the day is conference. So if you like and subscribe, you type in your comment conference, I will give you a free copy of my Empowerment and Change books, absolutely free. And just leave me your email and I will get it, or email me at bthomasmillerpsych. The book is valued at $8.95 a copy, paperback copy, about 120, 101 pages. So just reach out to me, like and subscribe on my page. And anyway, we will talk to you soon. Have a great day, folks. And hopefully sometime middle of this week, I will do another video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.